I finally lost my virginity. I, 22M, finally lost my virginity this past weekend, and I've been on an emotional high ever since. I've always been a rather shy and introverted person, so much so that it's made dating difficult for me, as girls have almost always had to make the first move. Alongside my quiet personality, my inexperience sexually had always made me nervous whenever I was close to sleeping with a girl, and I'd always found an excuse to escape the situation. This past weekend, my friend, S, 22F, invited me to go to a party with her. We met earlier this semester in August, and she's been someone that I've surprisingly gotten very close to in a short amount of time. I attribute this to us having a ton of shared interests, along with her extroverted personality somehow coexisting well with my introverted personality. I picked up S on Saturday night and we headed to the party. I offered to be her DD as I don't drink, though she ended up not drinking at all. At the party, we met up with some friends, and it was a good time. S forced me a bit out of my comfort zone at the party, introducing me to several of her friends I'd never met. However, it felt good to be pushed out of my normally small social bubble. As we were walking to my car after the party, S asked what I was planning on doing after dropping her off. I said that I'd probably watch something random on Netflix until I passed out, and in a lucky mental lapse, asked if she wanted to join me. I say lucky mental lapse because I had zero intention of hitting on S, as up to this point, my peanut brain hadn't realized all of the obvious hints she'd been giving me over the past few weeks and especially that night. She agreed, and we headed to my apartment. As we walked from the garage to my apartment, S grabbed at my hand, and we held hands until we got to my door. At this point, I finally registered S's interest in me, and I decided I wasn't going to let my past make me lose S. Once we were settled inside, we sat on the couch and eventually cuddled, before I finally made a move and kissed her. This eventually led to short-lasting sex, lol, after which I admitted to S that it was my first time. I fully expected her to leave and that our friendship and potential relationship was probably finished, but she was surprisingly extremely supportive, and ended up staying the night. The feeling of cuddling with someone was something I could have never imagined. The warm fuzzy feeling in my stomach seemed to never dissipate, and is something I can totally see myself craving. We ended up spending all of Sunday together, and are now officially dating, and I'm absolutely over the moon. S is the first girl I've ever met that's genuinely made me want to break out of my shell, and I couldn't be happier. I can see some seeing this post as me bragging, boasting, and I do apologize if it comes off that way, but I'm just honestly high on life and want to share it and talk about as much as possible. I'm also happy to no longer be a virgin, lol.